Srimad Bhagavatam 5:20 45 and 46. Suryena hi vibhajyante dishah kham dyaurmahi bhida svargapavargo naraka rasau kamsi cha sarvashah. So Srimad Bhagavatam 5:20, 45 and 46 by His Grace Sundar Gopāl Prabhu. Huh? What? What is that? I'm already live. Suryena, by the sun god within the sun planet. He, indeed, vibhajyante, are divided. Dishah, the directions. Kham, the sky. Dyauh, the heavenly planets. Mahi, the earthly planets. Bhida, other divisions. Swarga, the heavenly planets. Apavarga, and the places for liberation. Narakaha, the hellish planets. Rasau Kamsi, such as Atala. Cha, also. Sarvashah, all. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O King, the sun god and the sun planet divide all the directions of the universe. It is only because of the presence of the sun that we can understand what the sky, the higher planets, this world, and the lower planets are. It is also only because of the sun that we can understand which places are for material enjoyment, which are for liberation, and which are hellish and subterranean. Please repeat. O King, the sun god and the sun planet divide all the directions of the universe. It is only because of the presence of the sun that we can understand what the sky, the higher planets, this world, and the lower planets are. It is also only because of the sun that we can understand which places are for material enjoyment, which are for liberation, which are hellish and subterranean. Text 46. Devatiryang manushyanam sarisripa sairudham sarvajivanikayanam surya atma drageshwarah. Deva of the demigods, Tiryak, the lower animals, Manushyanam and the human beings, Sarisripa, the insects and the serpents, Savirudham and the plants and trees, Sarvajiva Nikayanam, of all groups of living entities, Surya, the sun god, Atma, the life and soul, Drik, of the eyes, Ishvara, the personality of Godhead. Yes, another morning. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: all living entities, including demigods, human beings, animals, birds, insects, reptiles, creepers, and trees, depend upon the heat and light given by the sun god from the sun planet. Furthermore, it is because of the sun's presence that all living entities can see, and therefore he is called Drigishvara, the personality of Godhead presiding over sight. Please repeat. All living entities, including demigods, human beings, animals, birds, insects, reptiles, creepers and trees, depend upon the heat and light given by the sun god from the sun planet. Furthermore, it is because of the sun's presence that all living entities can see, and therefore he is called Drigishvara, the personality of Godhead presiding over sight. Purport. In this regard, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Surya Atma Atmatveno Pasyah. The actual life and soul of all living entities within this universe is the sun. He is therefore Upasya, worshipable. We worship the sun god by chanting the Gayatri mantra, Om Bhur Bhuvah Swah Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Surya is the life and soul of this universe, and there are innumerable universes for which a sun god is the life and soul, just as the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the life and soul of the entire creation. We have information that Vairaja, Hiranyagarbha, entered the great dull material globe called the sun. This indicates that the theory held by so-called scientists that no one lives there is wrong. Bhagavad Gita also says that Krishna first instructed Bhagavad Gita to the sun god, Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam, Bhagavad Gita 4.1. Therefore, the sun is not vacant. It is inhabited by living entities, and the predominating deity is Vairaja or Vivaswan. The difference between the sun and earth is that the sun is a fiery planet, but everyone there has a suitable body and can live there without difficulty. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 5th canto, 20th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Studying the Structure of the Universe. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmelitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for joining in our program. This thing is loose, huh? So, we are reading in this chapter about the sun planet, no? The sun is one of the most important planets in this universe. Yes? In the Bhagavad Gita you find, no? That I am among 10. Sasi Surayoho. 7-10, right?
7-8.
Prabhasmi Sasi Surayoho. Okay? This verse you see. I am the moon and the sun.
Yeah? The light. I am the light of the moon and the sun.
I am the light from the moon and the light of the sun and the moon. So Krishna says he is the light of the sun and the moon. So the whole universe needs some light, Actually, the upper portion of the universe has light. The below portion has no light. Because in the darkness, all the demons and everybody stay there. Whereas in the upper side, the demigods stay there. According to the movement of the sun, there's day and night in different parts of the universe, and the dimension is different. For example, when the sun moves, the demigods, they experience, for us is 1 day here, or 1 year here, 1 year. That's only 1 day for the demigods. See how inconceivable all this is. Sun is moving, but it is 1 year. And here is here 1 year of movement of the sun. And of course, we have so many days and night here. But in the demigod world, it's only one complete day and night, just by their time and our time. Although the movement of the sun is going on undisturbed, but the length of time perceived anywhere in the universe is different. Just like when Brahma, he came down, he stole the cows, correct? And he went up, and he came back within a moment or a second. Already 1 year has passed in the, correct? In the Krishna book is. So see how the movement of the sun is kind of predetermines the movement of the whole universe. That's why sun, Krishna say, I am the eye of the sun is my eyes, They call the sun as Surya Narayana. Is it not? Surya? It's so important place, and our so-called intelligent scientists are saying there's no life there. Can you imagine that? Such a powerful planet, giving life to everybody, and is uninhabited. This is Prabhupada explained in the book. So therefore, to understand this, we have to go to the Vedic scriptures, because their complete knowledge is there. Whereas in the other school, it's all speculative science. They are proposing and they are theorizing that this is it, this could be, that could, just by sitting here, as Prabhupada always give the analogy of the frog in the well, Is it not? The frog in the Atlantic Ocean is 3 feet, 5 feet, is it 10 feet bigger than this? And they have already, put so much of brainwashing to the whole world practically, and everybody think that they are the authority, and they are, as this verse goes, 6:4:30, 29, 6:4:29.
यद्यन्निरुक्तं वचसा निरूपितं धियाक्षभिर्वा मनसोत यस्य मा भूत्स्वरूपं गुणरूपं हि तत्तत् स वै गुणापाय विसर्गलक्षण. I don't think that okay. There's something wrong. Anything expressed by material vibrations, anything ascertained by material intelligence, and anything experienced by the material senses or concocted within the material mind is but an effect of the modes of material nature and therefore has nothing to do with the real nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord is beyond the creation of this material world, for He is the source of the material world, material qualities and creation. As the cause of all causes, He exists before the creation and after the creation. I wish to offer my respectful obeisances unto Him.
So you see that anything expressed by the material mind, material vibration, or concocted within the material is but an effect of the three modes of material nature, and therefore has nothing to do with the real nature of the Supreme. See this point here? So you cannot try to figure this out with your material, intelligent, material. It's actually just like the Lord is inconceivable, His creation is also inconceivable. You know, you cannot say that, yeah, I know. It's possible. Inconceivable. Huh? How such a fiery place, and when they say, oh, so hot there, how anyone will live? Huh? But the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, I went to Sun God and I spoke. Not only he went there, he went and he spoke to him also. This Bhagavad Gita. Huh? Is it not? 4:1, is it? The Lord is saying,
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavana Hamavyayam Vivasvan Manavepraham Manurikshvakave Bravit. The personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivasvan. And Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku.
see, Bhagavad Gita was spoken to the Sun God. I mean, you can see how the Lord, He goes to all the planets, not only the, and of course, if He wants to say, so many volumes of books were required. What did I do there? How did I talk to Him? How, so many things, Correct? You mean to say He will go there and just talk and go home? There will be entertainment, there will be so many things. Is it not? Huh? Yeah. So this knowledge is, he just say, I went there, I spoke to him. Correct? Even when you speak to him, they would sit down somewhere. How they speak? There must be some. Is it not? Correct? And you say that it's all vacant and empty and nothing. This is absurd, This one? Very absurd. Yes? And there's a whole description about how the sun god is traveling, who are in front, and who, there were 20,000 now, Vaikalikas. Huh? They're small little people, the size of the thumb. They're sitting on the chariot and they're chanting verses. And seven group of people, I think. The Urvasi is dancing, and everyone takes turn, every month going there doing this thing, and his chariot is described that he's got one wheel, the other is stuck somewhere in the center and is moving around. It's a whole description, is it not? And Indra has to take turn following the sun on this month. The 12 months, the 12 months of the zodiac, correct? All these are very detailedly described, and they say it's all some joke. Huh? And because they want to minimize, therefore they don't have to worship. You see this point here, the greatness of the Lord, making the sun god, and who is giving so much, because we all chant the mantra, Om Bhu Bhu Swaha, worshipping the sun. Because it's very important for us to acknowledge. See, the whole creation is very personal, It's very, you understand? That's a personality for, whereas the impersonal is, there's nobody there, nothing. Everything starts with the light and that's it. You follow? So they try to make everything impersonal. But that is not a fact. You see, the Lord is saying, I spoke to the Sun God. He is a person. Yes, of course, his body is not like our body. But anyone with intelligence can see that living entities in different atmospheres, In that verse, it says that every planet has a different atmosphere. You know which verse is that? Vibhuti Bhinam. Huh? Yashya Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti Swasesa Vishuddhati Vibhuti Bhinam. Vibhuti means the planet, no?
Vasudha means planet.
Vasudha means planet. Vibhuti Bhinam.
Vibhuti is atmosphere.
The atmosphere is different everywhere. You can see the translation. Vishuddha planet manifest with opulent, Bhinam becoming variegated. You understand? Every planet has different atmosphere, different kind of varieties. Yeah?
This translation cannot be understood almost.
The translation?
Because this cannot be understood.
Oh, Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Prabhupada explained this, this Vibhuti Bhinam. Prabhupada said that different kind of varieties are there. Not all planets are created the same. You understand? Can read that now.
The Brahma Samhita, the different varieties of planets is described in the Brahma Samhita as Vibhuti Bhinnam. That is, each and every one of the innumerable planets within the universe is endowed with a particular type of atmosphere, and how advanced the living beings on each planet are in science and psychology depends on the atmosphere. Vibhuti means specific powers and Bhinnam means variegated.
So that they're trying to reach other planets by mechanical arrangement. See? They
Organisms
adapted to the atmosphere of Earth cannot exist in the atmosphere of other planets. Isn't that? You follow? So they are trying to accommodate the idea whatever is here, it must be repeated everywhere else. No, it's not necessary. Just like even in the earth, as Prabhupada always gives the example that the fishes have a certain kind of body so that they can adapt to living under the water. Yes? Correct? Your body cannot stay in the water. Similarly, of course, now they are trying to stay in space in some kind of a space lab. But you see how even then they only can do that for 6 months. After that they have to come back. Otherwise they will die of radiation. And even just then that is not even space yet. It's just little bit above. It's already so difficult. And surprisingly they went smoothly to the moon. And that also in a few days. Prabhu, I mean, all glories to them, but I understand.
Went to the moon is one, came back.
Yeah, they came back and they had a cup of tea and coffee describing. You expect us to believe this, eh? I mean, you can't even stay in space and you have to run back and you went smoothly in a few days. Huh? This is how very absurd. Correct? And then they depicted because everybody think the moon was craters so therefore they must make a scene like that. It must be full of craters and of course somewhere in the Nevada desert they filmed this whole thing. Everybody can see there's some kind of a drama. It doesn't require big brains to understand that. Huh? Such a big place, giving so much, moon is giving light, and they say moon is what? Giving life to all vegetables. Correct? Plants, huh? Is it not? And it's sustaining all plants, and there is a desert. Can you imagine this rationale? Huh? Hello. Similarly, the sun is so full of asesa teja. What does asesa mean? It's full of teja. Teja means light, as brilliant as the sun. How powerful the sun is. Everything starts working the moment the sun rises. Correct? And then there are prayers for them. Everyone is praying. You go to the sun, the beach, or not the beach necessarily, they see the sun is coming out. It's so brilliant and beautiful. Such a brilliant and beautiful planet is nothing. But in our Vedas, it is described how the sun god is there, assisted by so many of his devotees, and he's moving at such a speed. And his his body is also brilliant. That's explained there in one verse. When what's his name? The Samantaka jewel, You know the story, the Samantaka jewel, right? So Krishna was he was playing some chess or something, and all the residents came, "Hey, the sun god is here, the sun god is here." You know the chapter, Samantaka jewel. You maybe can take out, You will see there, it's plain. And Krishna said, no, that's the sun god. That he is, what's his name? The father of Satyabhama. Huh? Satyajit.
Satrajit.
Satrajit, he is having the jewel. See? So you see, from this statement, how the sun, although he's staying there and the planet is he is also effulgent, because he is effulgent, he is emitting the rays. You follow this point? Ah. So it is not some whimsical thing. Uh, you see, there's another statement. It says in that 4, 11, 15, I think. 4, 11, 15. When the Yakshas were all killed by Durva. Huh? See? When he was killed by Durva, they all were 15, is it? 5. What is it? Number? Give me a minute.
5, is it?
4, 4. He said they were killed by him and they went up,
5.
5, huh?
Yeah.
4, 11, 5.
Mm.
Yeah. That 4, 11, 5. See? They were killed and they went above the sun globe. Yeah? See here?
सतान् पृषत्कैरभिधावतो मृधे निकृत्त बाहुरुशिरोधरोदरान् निनाय लोकं परमर्कमण्डलं व्रजन्ति निर्भिद्य यमूर्ध्वरेतसः. When Dhruva Maharaj saw the Yakshas coming forward, he immediately took his arrows and cut the enemies to pieces. Separating their arms, legs, heads, and bellies from their bodies, he delivered the Yakshas to the planetary system, which is situated above the sun globe and which is attainable only by first class brahmacharis who have never discharged their semen.
See that? Huh? They went to a place where if they went higher to that place, lower place, no. I mean, you see the logic. Huh? The sun globe is giving life, and they, after being killed, these yakshas, they were liberated to the point of going to, actually, Prabhupada writes in the purport as Satyaloka, I mean the place of Lord Brahma. Yeah? You understand? See, this whole thing, this knowledge is, you cannot understand these things also with your own, speculative power. And if you try to do some comparative study, it's going to not work, because this thing can only be understood if you are a devotee and of Krishna. That's why Krishna says this is what? Rahasya, secret. You understand? Although you may see, but still you cannot understand. Pashyanapi na pashyati. Pashyanapi means you're seeing, na pashyati, you cannot understand this. You know where is this word? Pashyanapi na pashyati. You know where? Two, 1, 4.
Yeah.
Pashyanapi na pashyati. See that? Tesham pramato nidanam pashyanapi na pashyati. Yeah?
Persons devoid of Atma do not inquire into the problems of life, being too attached to the fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see the inevitable destruction.
This here referring to the inevitable destruction. But in the same context, you cannot understand this if you are, what is that? Pramata. Pramata means what?
Mad.
What pramata means?
Mad.
Crazy, mad.
Too attached.
How you become mad? Again, that's another question. How you become mad? How? Huh? How?
Too much attachment.
No, that verse 5.4. Nunam pramata kurute vikarma. When you do sinful activities, you become crazy. You see this? You see that? Nunam pramata again. Pramata means what? Crazy, mad. How? Kurute. Kurute means you perform. What you perform? Vikarma. You know there's 3 karmas. What is the 3 karmas? Akarma, Vikarma and Karma. Karma, Vikarma and Akarma. You know what is these 3 karmas? What is karma? Action. Vikarma is sinful activities. Akarma means action without any reaction. And karma is? What? With reaction. Vikarma is sinful activity. So karma is without any reaction, with reaction. How do you perform karma? Tell me. Hello? Where the others? Cooking. What did you do? Nothing. They're cutting. Who? Tell me, what is karma? What is vikarma? And what is akarma? Hello? Hmm? Yeah, that means work, no? Correct? What
Sense.
kind is that? What is this work? Sense gratification. That's vikarma, no? Sense gratification is vikarma, correct? So how you define karma? Yeah?
So karma is the reaction with the good or bad both sides.
Karma is called both. Then vikarma? Bad or
Karma
good?
is a sinful forbidden action, which is
Forbidden actions.
sinful.
So karma is what action is that is okay. When you say this one, you see how much it is just a simple word, right? Correct? So karma means you do activities according to the karma kanda.
According to Vedas.
Huh? According to the Vedas. You follow? So you get some punya, some pious results. Understand? And then vikarma is sense gratification, forbidden activities, cannot do this. And then akarma is action but no how you do that? Activities in the service of the, you understand? Hmm? Are you following? Correct. To understand this, you can go to 6153. I think we go to 50, 51, 2, 3 until 55. 50. See, we read this. You see how these three things you can understand. This is
पंचभिः कुरुते स्वार्थान् पंचवेदाथ पंचभिः एकस्तु षोडशेन त्रीन् स्वयं सप्तदशोऽश्नुते. Above the five senses of perception, the five working senses, and the five objects of the senses is the mind, which is the 16th element. Above the mind is the 17th element, the soul, the living being himself, who, in cooperation with the other 16, enjoys the material world alone. The living being enjoys three kinds of situations, namely happy, distressful, and mixed.
see that three should be happy, distressful, and mix. Next verse. See?
तदेतत् षोडशकलं लिङ्गं शक्तित्रयं महत् धत्तेऽनुसंसृतिं पुंसि हर्षशोकभयार्तिदाम्. The subtle body is endowed with 16 parts. The five knowledge acquiring senses, the five working senses, the five objects of sense gratification, and the mind. This subtle body is an effect of the three modes of material nature. It is composed of insurmountably strong desires, and therefore it causes the living entity to transmigrate from one body to another in human life, animal life, and life as a demigod. When the living entity gets the body of a demigod, he is certainly very jubilant. When he gets a human body, he is always in lamentation. And when he gets the body of an animal, he is always afraid. In all conditions, however, he is actually miserable. His miserable condition is called samsriti or transmigration in material life.
See, when he does this karma, good karma, punya, he get promoted to demigod body. When you do, what? Either you get promoted to heavenly body or you get human birth, Mode of passion, you get the human. But when you do sinful work, he goes down to what? Animal. See? And then the three conditions. In the demigod is happy. Human life is always full of, always lamenting. And when he do sinful work, he is living in constant fear. The animals are living in constant fear. See? See next verse. See? This 5 verses, Prabhupada gave a class on this, no?
देह्यज्ञोचित षड्वर्गो नेच्छन् कर्माणि कार्यते कोशकार इवात्मानं कर्मणाच्छाद्य मुह्यति. The foolish embodied living entity, inept at controlling his senses and mind, is forced to act according to the influence of the modes of material nature against his desires. He is like a silkworm that uses its own saliva to create a cocoon and then becomes trapped in it, with no possibility of getting out. The living entity traps himself in a network of his own fruitive activities and then can find no way to release himself. Thus, he is always bewildered and repeatedly he dies.
See this? This is the result of working karma bandha. You know the word karma bandha? In that verse 3:9. Yajnanartha karma nayatra loka karma. Was it?
Bandhanaha.
Bandhanaha. So if does not work for Krishna, then this is what happens. By his own work, he gets entangled. You understand? This work is very dangerous. Next, you see.
न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठत्य कर्मकृत् कार्यते ह्यवशः कर्म गुणैः स्वाभाविकैर्बलात्. Not a single living entity can remain unengaged even for a moment. One must act by his natural tendency according to the 3 modes of material nature because his natural tendency forcibly makes him work in a particular way.
This same verse as
3:5.
Bhagavad Gita 3:5. You know, nobody can stay quiet. They have to work, forced to work by the modes of. Understand? And if he's a fool, he thinks he's the doer. Pakiti Kiryamanani Gunair Karmas. So India, in this word, Avashya Karma, you know the Sanskrit you see, is now. Yeah? Avashya, automatically karma. What is that automatically? It's forced, you know. Okay, then you see the last verse. The last one it says, oh, we got 54. Yeah.
लब्ध्वा निमित्तम् अव्यक्तं व्यक्ताव्यक्तं भवत्युत यथा योनि यथा बीजं स्वभावेन बलीयसा. The fruitive activities a living being performs, whether pious or impious, are the unseen cause for the fulfillment of his desires. This unseen cause is the root for the living entity's different bodies. Because of his intense desire, the living entity takes birth in a particular family and receives a body which is either like that of his mother or like that of his father. The gross and subtle bodies are created according to his desire.
Right? This is the result of the same verse is there in the 5:5:5. Karma, good or bad, you know, as God is, both of them cannot help you. You know this verse 5:5:5, right? Just now we saw 5:5:4, no? This verse here, Parabhavas, yeah?
पराभवस्तावदबोधजातो यावन्न जिज्ञासत आत्मतत्त्वं यावत् क्रियास्तावदिदं मनो वै कर्मात्मकं येन शरीरबन्धः.
See the word karmatmakam yena sarira bandham. So karma, good or bad, you follow? See?
As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. Be it sinful or pious, karma has its resultant actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmaka, colored with fruitive activity. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear, and as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, he has to accept a material body.
Is that? Huh? Then the solution, not that there is no solution, the solution next one, the 6155.
एष प्रकृतिसङ्गेन पुरुषस्य विपर्ययः आसीत् स एव न चिरात् ईशसङ्गाद् विलीयते. Since the living entity is associated with material nature, he is in an awkward position. But if in the human form of life he is taught how to associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotee, this position can be overcome.
See that? This is called akarma. Understand these 5 verses? And Prabhupada explained this, Yeah. And of course, this same point, 5.5, there's now 5.5.4. I think it's 5.5.6. Yeah, same thing. Unless you develop your love for Vasudeva, you cannot come out of this. Same thing. Huh? You understand me? Are you following? See?
एवं मनः कर्म वशं प्रयुङ्क्ते अविद्ययात्मन्युपधीयमाने प्रीतिर्न यावन्मयि वासुदेवे न मुच्यते देहयोगेन तावत्. When the living entity is covered by the mode of ignorance, he does not understand the individual living being and the supreme living being, and his mind is subjugated by fruitive activity. Therefore, until one has love for Lord Vasudeva, who is none other than myself, he is certainly not delivered from having to accept a material body again and again.
Same point. Until you develop what? A love for the Lord. Or you learn the signs of devotional service. Then only you can be free from this. Understand? So this is very important because we are studying about the sun, and the sun is the chief of all activities. Correct? Is it karma begins with the what? With the sun. The moment the sun comes up, all activity starts. Be it good or bad or whatever. Is it not? Yeah? Isn't it? That's why in the Brahma Samhita, the verse about the sun, Yachaksu Esa Savita Sakala Grahanam.
Grahanam Raja.
He is the king of all planets, you see? This verse here. Chant this verse here, you all can chant together, it'll be nice.
यच्चक्षुरेष सविता सकलग्रहाणां
Yachaksu Esa Savita Sakala Grahanam
राजा समस्तसुरमूर्तिरशेष तेजा
Raja Samasta Suramuti Rasesa Teja
यस्याज्ञया भ्रमति संभृतकालचक्रो
Yasya Jaya Brahmati Samvrita Kala Chakra
गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि.
Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
The sun, who is the king of all the planets, full of infinite effulgence, the image of the good soul, is as the eye of this world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, in pursuance of whose order the sun performs his journey mounting the wheel of time.
So we try to understand how everything is coordinated. The universe is not like some independent thing happening anywhere. Everything is in focus. See? And without the sun, forget it. You're not going to be... especially when the time of destruction, the sun will become what? Millions of times hotter. You know that? Do you know? Everything is what? Evaporated by the powerful heat of the sun. See how at destruction the sun can dissolve everything also. It's ended I think it's in the 12th canto.
The Pralaya.
Pralaya. I think it's in 11.3. You tried the rain as long as the elephant trunk. Rain falls as long as an elephant trunk, and that way the sun shines a million times. Elephant trunk, you see that verse?
11:3:11.
11?
11:3:11. Hmm. Eleven three eight onwards. धातुपप्लव आसन्ने व्यक्तं द्रव्यगुणात्मकम् अनादिनिधनः कालो ह्यव्यक्तायापकर्षति. When the annihilation of the material elements is imminent, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his form of eternal time withdraws the manifest cosmos consisting of gross and subtle features, and the entire universe vanishes into non-manifestation. शतवर्षा हि अनावृष्टिर् भविष्यत्युल्बणा भुवि तत्कालोपचितोष्णार्को लोकां स्त्रीन् प्रतपिष्यति. As cosmic annihilation approaches, a terrible drought takes place on earth for 100 years. For 100 years, the heat of the sun gradually increases and its blazing heat begins to torment the three worlds.
See that?
पातालतलमारभ्य संकर्षणमुखानलः दहन्नूर्ध्वशिखो विश्वग्वर्धते वायुनेरितः. Beginning from Patalaloka, a fire grows emanating from the mouth of Lord Sankarshan. Its flames shooting upward, driven by great winds, it scorches everything in all directions. संवर्तको मेघगणो वर्षति स्म शतं समाः धाराभिर्हस्तिहस्ताभिर्लीयते सलिले विराट. Hordes of clouds called Samvartaka pour torrents of rain for 100 years, flooding down in raindrops as long as the trunk of an elephant. The deadly rainfall submerges the entire universe in water.
See, after the burning of the earth, then there's rain to dissolve the whole thing up. Yeah, everything is very scientifically, explained. And these things are happening repeatedly, not that, shocking. It's been going on for so many Kali Yugas finished, when so many Brahma dies. In fact, Brahma's night approach, there's also partial annihilation. And you see how the sun is very crucial, giving life and also taking away the life. Right? How important planet it is, That's why Asesa Teja, it is what? And who regulates the temperature in the sun? Somebody regulates it. It's simply automatic, is it? Come on, you just to put your air conditioner or heater, you have to go and make sure it is. When the sun is acting whimsically, nobody controlling it. Come on, let's see, understand, be more bit intelligent. See, understand. So it's very unfortunate that this knowledge is not made available to the general public. Understand? And the sun is not independent. He does not act independently from the control of the Lord. Yes, just now you see Krishna said in the first verse, I am the light of the sun, and the controlling power is that's why it's called Surya Narayana. You understand? And they are but nothing, they are his eyes, So try to understand all this thing in a proper perspective. That's why it's our duty to worship, because he's providing the light, is providing the not only light, heat and light, you need we study in school this part, photosynthesis. That's all we study. We don't go beyond. The sunlight is giving what? Making the leaf a chlorophyll. I mean, the leaf has got some chlorophyll, and the sun is synthesizing it and breaking it down to sugar. That's all we learn. But we don't learn how the sun is playing a vital role. Who is giving power to the sun? Because then the element of God has to come inside. And that's what they don't want to teach. You follow? And that is most important because God is providing. And even is it not proper etiquette that you worship someone who is giving you life? Huh? I think it is an offense. It's a punishable offense. Anyone who disregards, you understand? He says in this verse, 11:5:3. Anyone who disregards or blatantly doesn't accept the supremacy of the Lord, he will fall down. That Ya Esham Purusham Shakshat, this verse.
Yaesham purusham sakshat atma prabhavameshwaram na bhajantya vajananti sthanad bhrashtaha patantyatha. Any members of the four varnas and four ashramas who fail to worship the personality of Godhead, the source of their own creation, or who intentionally disrespect him will fall down from their position into a hellish state of life.
Look. Hello. If you what is that? Intentionally, what? Disrespect, fail to worship him, and who intentionally disrespect him. Isn't this education system doing that? Huh? Yes or no? Can you imagine how big offense? They think it's all right, no more education and all nonsense. Huh? You follow this point? So therefore, if you do not worship the Lord, then you will be thoroughly condemned. In fact, the Lord says, I was quoting the verse this morning to him, 3:29-39. Is it? You see in this verse, he says, right? The Lord is what? He destroys you. He what?
न चास्य कश्चित् दयितो न द्वेष्यो न च बान्धवः आविशत्यप्रमत्तोऽसौ प्रमत्तं जनमन्तकृत्. No one is dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor is anyone his enemy or friend. But he gives inspiration to those who have not forgotten him and destroys those who have.
Yeah? You understand this? You cannot do away with this point of not worshipping him. That's why those who don't worship him are considered what? Atheistic. Asura Bhavam. You follow in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, those who are what? Asura? Yes. So it's very dangerous to do this. If you deny the existence of God, then you are thoroughly condemned. You understand this point? So you cannot and you must not actually try to what? Go in this atheistic direction of denying the existence of God, is unseen hand in everything. He's got what? His hand in everything. So we say, not a blade of grass can move without his sanction. You understand this point? So that we have to acknowledge this position of the Lord. And if you don't do it, then you will fall down. Correct? Yes or no? You will fall down. You will what? Even intentionally disrespect. You thoroughly condemn. So therefore, the whole purpose of the human life, because we have forgotten him, we have to revive that consciousness. And which is the main goal of this life. This whole life is to worship the Lord. See? And you cannot deny. You cannot and must not. Of course, excessive sense of gratification will get you intoxicated and you will forget. That's why sense gratification is very dangerous, You follow? Because you'll make you dull, like a what? Dull like what? Huh? I think it's 11, 21, 21, 22. Huh? 11, 21, 22. Yeah? Become dull as a tree. Yeah?
विषयाभिनिवेशेन नात्मानं वेद नापरं वृक्ष वृक्षजीविकया जीवन व्यर्थं भस्त्रेव यः श्वसन्.
See, vriksha means tree, no? Jivikaha Jivan. This is Malayalam. This word Jivika, Sanskrit word, but it's allowed in the Malayalam language. Correct?
By the lifestyle. Jivakaya. Jivakaya. Here Jivikaya, there Jivakaya. I don't know which one is correct. Because of absorption in sense gratification, one cannot recognize himself or others. Living uselessly in ignorance like a tree, one is merely breathing just like a bellows.
See this is what happens. That's why it's so dangerous to enjoy the senses. What? Vikarma. What's that? Huh? Vikarma is dangerous. You see the consequence. If you live like this, breathing just like bellows and living uselessly in ignorance like a tree, what is your life?
What is bellows?
Huh?
I don't think they know what bellows.
Bellows, you know. Harmonium got what? What is that? Harmonium got what? The harmonium has got what? What is that? And what is that? Bellows. So, living. Understand this point? Huh? And what else got bellows? That the blacksmith, he pumps the air. Yes? What is the use of the bellows? You leave. That's why you see how dangerous sense gratification is. That's why the sun is very instrumental, a very key factor in, in bringing us towards the Lord. Without the power of the light of the sun, how you can see things? Huh? But of course, the comparison is more. There's a verse there, I think it's 10, what is that? 10. He gives the power like the sun to see. What is it? 10, 40, 25 or 40?
Forty-one.
41, no?
Sadhunam, that's one, right?
Yeah.
Sadhunam samachittanam sutaram matkritatmanam darshananno bhaved bandha pumso kshanoh savituriyatha. When one is face to face with the sun, there is no longer darkness for one's eyes. Similarly, when one is face to face with a sadhu or devotee who is fully determined and surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one will no longer be subject to material bondage.
That if you come face to face with the sun, then you no more in ignorance, no longer darkness. Similarly, one is face to face with the devotee. Yes? Comparison, no? So try to understand how important the sun is and how It's facilitating our purpose of life, Right? Correct. That's why they have an exercise called Surya Namaskar, right? You have to go to the sun and worship the sun with paying this Namaskar. Of course, we chant Hare Krishna and that sums up everything. So, of course, this is the point of the sun. And for us, the sun is very important. We're chanting mantras every day. Gayatri, those who are Brahmins, they chant Om Bhubuha Swaha Tat Savitor. Right? Savitar is the sun. Yes? So we see the sun as a source of energy coming from empowered by the Lord. And different. Because in the spiritual world there's no sun, there's no need for sun, because spirit soul is bright by itself already. You know that verse? Na basyate na suryo. 15:6, I think. Right? You see here? So in the spiritual world, na tad bashyate, right? Verse.
न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world.
So that's the difference between the spiritual world and the material world. Because here everything is in darkness and there everything is in light. So then require the presence of the sun. Yes? So this is why you should return to the spiritual world. All right, so I think I explained as much as I can understand.
In the spiritual world, there are Ashtakaliya Leelas. So that one has night and everything.
Yeah, how you explain that? That is spiritual time.
Whenever Krishna wants, there can be night. Yeah. Whenever Krishna wants.
And Krishna can change also, For example, when he had the Rasa Leela, it stretched to the whole night of Brahma. I mean, if you 5,000 years ago, one night of Brahma, you think now it's the Leela is still going on, with the time. Yes? How you could do that? That is his power. He can compress it and he can, and at the same time he can, just like when all the Brahmas came to see him, right? But they could not see each other. When Narada was going through the 16,000 palaces, yes, one place Krishna was doing one thing, supposed to do that event in the night. Somewhere he is seeing Krishna is doing something that event is supposed to do in the daytime. So, it's just in Dwaraka, 16,000 palaces, but 16, different activities. How is it possible? Because he's God, he can do. He doesn't have any restriction with limitation with time, space, and anything. So try to understand his position. He is inconceivably powerful. God.
Moon planet is higher than this planet, and to reach there we have to have proper qualification. But now the scientists, they may not have landed in the moon, but then they are also sending these small vehicles and they're taking samples, showing images. Even that is considered marginal success.
It's all very hypothetical. Their version is their information. How you substantiate all that? I mean, if you do an event here, there's a referee, there's third party, everybody observing. But in this place, how do you do that?
Biased presentations.
One-sided. I just show you something and I say, you believe it or not, I just went there. It's your word against anybody else. Right? And we stress on the words of the scriptures. Anything is not in compliance with the scripture, we will not accept. Because the word of God is absolute and is infallible. Right? And we know that you have a cheating propensity. Yes? So you may exercise your cheating propensity to, especially if you have a one-sided kind of a, yes? As Prabhupada said, you may even have gone to Rahu. Rahu is an invisible planet that zigzags everywhere.
But how they can calculate and then exactly land
No,
on
while
Rahu?
you are going there, this planet is intercepted. Anything can happen. Yes, correct. But the fact is that the moon is a heavenly planet. People who live there live for 10,000 years. And they also taste the Soma Ras. How you get Soma Ras? How you get all this in the desert? Prabhu. Understand? And plus, I've already explained this subject in that verse 2, that the body is very subtle. The body is not like us, in that verse 2, you can see an ethereal body. Those who are in Brahmaloka, they got an ethereal body, As you go, see, like now in the Bhagavatam is described, 800 miles above, you have the ghosts. And the ghosts don't have what? Physical body. And other beings, the Gandharvas, the what? Kinnara, they're all one planet after the other. Definitely they may not have a body like us. Makes sense, right? Correct? So you see in this verse, you see, you can read.
ततो विशेषं प्रतिपद्य निर्भयस् तेनात्मनापो नलमूर्तिरत्वरन् ज्योतिर्मयो वायुमुपेत्य काले वायवात्मनाखं बृहदात्मलिङ्गम्. After reaching Satyaloka, the devotee is specifically able to be incorporated fearlessly by the subtle body in an identity similar to that of the gross body.
See, there's another thing there. Very important statement, no? In the body, subtle body, in an identity similar to that of a grass. So he has subtle body, but he can eat, he can do all these things. Now you have like the ghosts, they have a subtle body, they cannot do all these things. You understand what I'm saying? Huh? But their body is in, they with the subtle body they can eat, they can do all these things. Hello, you see this point? Similar to that of a gross body. And read on.
And one after another, he gradually attains stages of existence from earthly to watery, fiery, glowing, and airy until he reaches the ethereal stage.
Yeah. See, ethereal stage is one step before the spiritual stage. You understand? Brahmaloka is ethereal body. Just after you go to the spiritual, that's it, all spiritual body. You understand?
Next verse is also there.
Huh?
Next verse is also
Yeah. You see, the descriptions are there. We are not, we are not concocting a one. Yeah.
घ्राणेन गन्धं रसनेन वैरसं रूपं च दृष्ट्याश्वसनं त्वचैव श्रोत्रेण चोपेत्य नभो गुणत्वं प्राणेन चाकूतिम् उपैति योगी. The devotee thus surpasses the subtle objects of different senses like aroma by smelling, the palate by tasting, vision by seeing forms, touch by contacting, the vibrations of the ear by ethereal identification, and the sense organs by material activities.
That means he has all these things, but they are not like what it is here. You understand? That's why the Brahma also said, we don't die like you, We are different. Because the body is different.
And why ghosts should be above? Why ghosts should be above us? Like, they should be going down, right? Because they are sinful.
Not necessarily, because they are in what is that what do you call it, that Lord Shiva is taking care of.
But they are lower, they are sinful.
Yakshas, Rakshas, Pisachi, all subtle body, they are put in that position. They are there so that they can come down here and harass the conditioned soul. You understand? In fact, they are entities being worshipped actually. It says in the Bhagavad Gita. Those who worship demigod go, those who worship the Pitras go to the Pit, and those who worship ghosts. So because they are worshipable, and they're there in that position. And when you call, they come down. You understand? They're not like hanging in there or something. They come down time to time to harass the living entities. See? And that is there, just 800 miles. Then higher, how much subtle they'll go. So the moon planet is, what kind of bodies they will have? You cannot see. You cannot see subtle body. Can you see? Yes. So the whole place is like you see like what with your telescope? How much to see, Prabhu? That's why real seeing is by seeing through scriptures. Heavenly planet, you go there, you live for 10,000 years. How come you're seeing some desert? How you reconcile these things? Yes? You only can say one thing. You cannot see what's inside there. That's the only way you can put it. You cannot see. How you see subtle things? Correct? And he says the atmosphere is different in each planet. Just now we read. You understand? So therefore our vibration, material, just now I showed you one verse. Anything by material vibration, frequencies, what you got it?
Or even words.
Everything you cannot comprehend with these things. I think everything is covered. That's why you need purity, no? You cannot see all these things just by your speculation. You can speculate, and you see that verse, 6:4:31. You can speculate and speculate, Krishna will make you get bewildered. This verse was quoted by, what's his name? Brother-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
This Amogha is the son-in-law, right? Amogha is son-in-law.
Yeah, no, who's the Govinda? What's his name? He's the brother-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
यच्छक्तयो वदतां वादिनां वै विवादसंवादभुवो भवन्ति कुर्वन्ति चैषां मुहुरात्ममोहम् तस्मै नमोऽनन्तगुणाय भूम्ने. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all-pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead, who possesses unlimited transcendental qualities. Acting from within the cause of the hearts of all philosophers who propagate various views, he causes them to forget their own souls while sometimes agreeing and sometimes disagreeing among themselves. Thus he creates within this material world a situation in which they are unable to come to a conclusion. I offer my obeisances unto him.
Krishna is creating the what? The confusion. Right? And you... what?
Gopinath Acharya.
Gopinath. So try to understand. You see, you cannot listen. You are an ass. That's the word. What is the word for you? You are an ass. That's why you say you're muda. Mudaham na bijanante. Hey, why do you be an ass? Because you try to be what? As we say in English, smart aleck. You understand? If you want to be smart, smarter than God, you become an ass. That's all it is. That's why Krishna says, unless you surrender, you cannot understand these things. You follow? So you are foolish, If you go on their path, there'll only be destruction for you. Yes? And Naham Prakasha Sarvasha Yogamaya, 725, no? Correct? Naham Prakasha, you cannot understand me. It's not possible. Of course, that's the verse. Ataha Sri Krishna Namadi, Na Braham Griham Indriya. You cannot, with your blunt senses, understand all these things. I mean, the Lord is not a fool, The Lord is not. And you see how He can create and can bewilder you. You're seeing and you cannot see you. How? Of course, our magicians are doing some simple tricks, And then when he show you the trick, you say, this guy is a real rascal. He's doing this. Yeah. But Krishna's tricks are how wonderful, boy. It's so realistic. Yes? Understand? So you cannot conceive this. That's why for millions of years we are rotting here. Because we are covered by his Maya. Cannot come out of my Maya. Devi is a Gunamai, Mama Maya, Turatya. You understand? So to draw some parallel with their so-called information and trying to, kind of reconcile with the Shastra, it's not going to be feasible. That's why either you have faith here or you have faith there. That's it. So you think science has got the answer for everything? Then yes, you go to the scientists. I'm not saying no. You go there. They will take you back home, back to garden. Huh? That's for you to decide which path you want. And here, everything like they say, what do you call that word they say? Mythological. They see how much absurd they are. They're using all this kind of terminology. What? Mythological, this speculative science, very, what we say? They say, use the word?
Pseudoscience also.
Pseudoscience, subject to superstitious beliefs. I mean, look at the terminology. Hello. And you're brainwashed. Correct? To think that they are what? Right. And you are absolutely wrong. That's why theology, when you speak about theology, don't bring this into this. We are not interested in theology. I'm telling you how absurd, not only offensive. The creator who did everything and he get ridiculed. Huh? You understand? That's why going and hearing that Prabhupada, his whole idea in the last stages was to break this scientist completely. If you study his last stage of his, preaching, he's trying to, what we say, discredit this scientists. You saw he's talking that life comes from life. Correct? He's always blasting them. Because he saw how dangerous these people are. They have screwed the mind of everybody to the point of thinking that God is a waste of time, That's not how they put it. And you see how important in this class we have explained how the Lord has got his hands on everything and so important personality. That is why it is called Kali Yuga. You understand? So nobody wants to come here. Even the demigods who won't come here to pass urine also, they won't come. They won't even stop here. Yeah? Everybody is so obnoxious. Okay, anything else? You want to add anything? You understand now? Karma, vikarma, akarma? Any questions? No questions.
Not questions, but just need to understand that normally love Supreme God. So do I think that okay, I'm loving, or unintentionally it's good love?
I didn't
There's
understand.
no conditions. Right? Because okay, I'm day by day I'm loving the God. Should I think that way? Because how do I erase this one?
How to
Because
what?
I should not think that okay, I'm loving the God. It's
Uh.
conditional love. Unconditional.
Huh?
So how do I do it?
Who wants to understand what is unconditional love?
No. What is unconditional love or how to get there?
Because okay, I'm praying the God. Okay, I should not even have this mindset that okay, I'm doing it all this. By default, it has to happen. It has to be my part.
How is it?
But you have to put effort to come here to.
Yeah, correct. Okay, that is okay. Up to that level, yes, of course, there should be some learnings and everything correct. Because we are understanding with Maharaj, then that when I get that okay, unconditionally I'm loving that person, means the Supreme God. So in that stage, where I get this mind also that okay, I'm still loving the God, or it will be on my track that okay, it will be closed.
No, you're not unconscious.
See, like this, where are you from? Chennai. Have you been to the airport? You have been, right? So, okay, you are going to Changi Airport, right? Right? And you heard, no, when you go there on the way, there will be the what route. You can see the nice highway, the road garden, and then you will see some. As you near the airport, you see the planes, and there's so many indications, is it not? Right? So when you go to the Lord, there are also symptoms to show you are on the right path. You understand? So what are those symptoms? That's what you're asking. How the Lord reciprocates for your understanding that you are going there.
No, he's asking.
Is it not?
No,
Yeah?
he's-
Correct. So what is this? How to understand this? Whether I'm doing it right or I'm doing wrong. Correct? So the first thing to know this path is that you must have a guru. When you don't have a guru, then it's very difficult. You'll be speculating with your mind. You understand? So the mind is always against the principle of God. It's always trying to veer you to sense gratification, to enjoy your senses. Give you an example. You wake up, today I want to go to the temple. But as you wake up, and the mind will tell you, no, you do tomorrow. Maybe you can go later. You understand? That's the mind. Huh? So the mind in that direction, and you take the help of that mind to approach the Lord, it's very difficult. It's impossible actually to go to God just by listening to your mind. Because the mind has got 4 defects. What are the 4 defects? Huh? What? Cheating propensity. The mind, you see here, has got these 4 defects. Can you read? Actually, you go to the next verse. Huh? You see this?
What is that?
No, no. There's another verse about these 4 defects in 2:138 or what? 2 what? There's another one, no? 86 now. Yeah. You see here. See, defect percept do not occur in the sayings of the authoritative sages. So you see, you understand the word authoritative sage means guru, You understand? So you don't listen to your mind, but you must listen to a authoritative guru. So they will guide you. You understand? And that's what Krishna says. Huh? You can go 11:29:6. So here Krishna is saying that internally I will guide you as the Paramatma, and externally I will guide you as the spiritual master. You understand? So because you don't have a guru, there's so many doubts. You understand? Like you say, I'm coming, but I'm doing because I'm doing, but I don't know whether I'm doing right or wrong. I want some assurance, some indication, some what direction. Yes. So you see here. Can someone read? Oh, he read. Let he got the mic.
The verse as well.
Translation.
O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Super Soul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you.
See this? So you need the guru and you need the Lord. Huh? And of course, you need the scriptures. The guru will present the scriptures. Like now, today you are hearing, and we are showing you the scriptures. Yes? Correct? Understand? So that's how you understand things. Again, I can say many things. Like the scientists, they're just saying, correct? But there's no backing, no, what we say, affirmation. No backing, no affirmation, no substantiating to show that it is valid. Whereas here, when we speak, we are speaking the words of God. Are you following? So then you are clear. Oh, is it? Then your doubts are clear. So you see, you need first and foremost. That's why Krishna says in 434. He says here, 434. You see what he's telling you. This is spoken in the Bhagavad Gita by Krishna.
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth.
Krishna says you must have a guru. You follow. Then yes, everything will come. How it happens? Sure, 23, 14, 15. First thing is you have to develop the faith. First thing is what? Without faith, how to go forward? Cannot go forward. And the mind destroys faith. The mind what? Destroys faith. No, could not be. That's why you create doubts. The mind creates doubts. For the doubting soul, you cannot be successful. Yeah? See? Beginning, a doubt, Shraddha. First thing what? Shraddha means what?
Faith.
Go read the See? The beginning there must be faith. See that? Then one become interested in associating with you. Then you want to come here regularly. You want to talk to devotees because you're developing the faith. Then what happens? Then you get initiated by, then you see you take Diksha. That means you get connected to the Lord by spiritual initiation. And then once you do that, then he orders you, you must do this, you must do that, you must avoid that. The principles comes in, the do's and the don'ts. And when you do that, then what happens? Thus one is free to unwanted habits. What is the unwanted habits? Lust, anger, greed. Yes? What else? After anger, greed, what?
Illusion.
And then madness.
Madness and envy.
So all these 6 bad qualities we have to clean from your heart. Because the heart is the pure place, sitting place of who? The heart is the sitting place of who? Of God. Yes? And if you want to connect with him, this dirty thing must go. And you see, you become fixed up. You become fixed up in this devotion. Every day you do, correct? And then you develop the taste. Then you develop what? Ruchi, taste, correct? And taste brings you to attachment. And attachment leads you to what? Bhava. And bhava leads you to love of God. So all these are procedures, it's not whimsical. Whereas now with your mind, you are not sure what I'm doing, where I'm going. How I know there's God? That's a big question. I'm really sure God is there. Yes. So all these things have to be clear by first developing your faith. And faith can only be developed if you associate with someone who has all the faith. Because he's seeing God. A guru is not some ordinary person. He is seeing God. Understand? Therefore he can show you God. You understand? Ah. So therefore this is the process. You follow? So I suggest first thing first, you have to read the books we have and you have to chant Hare Krishna. Because these mantras will connect you to God. These are preliminary, stages. And of course, chanting is not only preliminary, it's also the end. So I recommend you to read the books, to hear more, to develop faith, and then also to chant the holy name of the Lord to purify yourself from all karma, sinful activities, everything. Then you see your path will go. You follow? So now you understand the procedure? Yeah, very good. Any other question? Is it clear? Okay, we'll stop here at 10 o'clock. I thought I will have a short day, but thank you very much. They can have prasadam upstairs.